First Step Act is coming up before the United States Senate, and I hope and pray it's defeated. Urge you to sign the petition appended to this video to urge your senators to vote against it. This legislation began as an effort to reform prison conditions. It was a very laudable one, and it drew the early support of President Trump, largely, I suspect, because of his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, whose father went to prison as a result of Giuliani's prosecution and suffered some very bad conditions and led to a family commitment to try to improve prison conditions. But then the Democrats jumped on the bill as it was going through the House and put all kinds of efforts to reduce sentences for violent criminals in the bill. It's all based on this ridiculous assumption that we are somehow racist in the U.S. because we have what the left calls mass incarceration, meaning about 2 million people in prison, about 1.8 million in state and local, and 200,000 in federal prison. And as a result of there being so many people locked up, vastly more than proportionately in any European country, our crime rate has dropped in more than half. And the crime epidemic that was causing fear and racial backlash in the 60s and 70s and into the 80s has gone away completely. And we're a much, much safer country for that. But now the left is changing the rules. One of the big changes is that the prison population swelled because of mandatory minimum sentencing. Judicial discretion got so crazy that people who committed murder were getting slaps on the wrist. The average term, I think, for murder was under 10 years of actual time served. And the Senate came together in a bill sponsored by Ted Kennedy and Jesse Helms, the most liberal and the most conservative, called H.R. 1776, I think, or H.R. 1, or something like that, which set up mandatory sentencing reforms, and it passed almost unanimously. Well, those sentencing reforms have worked. They take discretion away from judges. Now, they do occasionally result in unjust sentences, particularly if those who are just accomplices to a drug trade maybe not even know that they are. And some reform is needed. But this bill gives judges the power to scrap the sentencing guidelines and do whatever they want, which will bring us right back to the days of the slap on the wrist. Also, under the sentencing guidelines, cocaine got a much lower sentence than crack. And the blacks and the liberals said, hey, it's the same thing. Just cocaine is what rich white people use and crack is what poor black people use. Why should crack sentences be higher than cocaine? I agree with that. I want to raise cocaine sentences to the same level as crack sentences. But the Sentencing Commission did the opposite. It lowered the crack sentences to the level of cocaine. But it was not able to do it retroactively. This new bill would do it retroactively and would immediately free 2,600 people from prison. The bill also restores the concept of early release, where the sentence you impose is not the sentence that you get, and would make 4,000 people currently in federal prison immediately eligible for release. It has so many bad features, and it should be defeated. Trump should be opposing it, and the conservatives in the Senate should be voting no. So please sign the petition annexed to this video. Thanks for watching.